try to be brief for the sake of our visitors. But on February 11th, there was a meeting held. It was the second community meeting. The people in Alcovy Shore's Rollingwood Cove, and there were several visitors, attendees from Turtle Cove. They've organized, they have a committee set up to keep things organized and to work with local and state officials in solving the problems of crime, vandalism, and burglaries, drugs, law enforcement, and code enforcement issues. The area has become lawless with the lack of patrols, drug arrests, code enforcement, etc. Sheriff Roper, Angie Sims with Department of Juvenile Justice, Sherry Braley from our Code Enforcement Office, and I attended. And of course, there was disappointment that there weren't more commissioners that did attend. The positive things that came out of the meeting was the people were concerned and they're willing to work toward changes. There was discussions on truancy, which is a big issue in this area. They mentioned that we needed really to talk with the schools about stepping up some enforcement out there on that. Curfews, they requested stronger and stricter curfews in the area, and Ms. Sims said that Porterdale had a similar situation and corrected it with just a curfew for a particular area with stronger patrols. Code enforcement, several people there talked with Ms. Braley. She told them that if they wanted code, things done, they would have to file a complaint because it's complaint driven. And she, in fact, took complaint forms, and a lot of people filled them out while they were up there. Speeding in the neighborhood with a request for speed bumps, a lack of animal control in the area, and a need for a neighborhood watch program. I do want to emphasize one thing here that I want the public to know, is that what happened in this area, we know this area has been rough for quite some time, but on Christmas Eve night, a house was broken into by some juveniles, and the people's dog was stomped to death. And this is what finally got the people very worked up in that area about this. I talked to the woman, she came to the meeting, she came to the first meeting, and said that the problem was nothing had been done about it, and they moved out of the neighborhood. So the citizens got together, and this is why we are where we are now. We've got some reactions from some of our staff and county managers, and it just seems that sometimes we're not taking this area seriously. And what I want to say is we've got to show this area the same respect that we show all the areas in the county. All areas should be shown the same, and we've got to not neglect this area anymore, because it's now spilling over up to Bear Creek area, it's spilling over into Turtle Cove. So I'm here to ask that on behalf of the residents of this area, that this board made a concerted effort to have our county manager, code enforcement, and animal control to do everything possible to help get this area cleaned up. And that's my report.
Is making that into a motion?
I can make it into a motion. I make a motion that this board make an effort to have the county manager, code enforcement, and animal control do everything possible to get this area cleaned up, to respond to the calls, and to basically show the people of this area respect.
I'll second the motion.
Yeah.
We have a motion by Commissioner Patrick, seconded by Commissioner Bernard. Is there any discussion?
No, I think that Commissioner Patrick is completely accurate in her comments. And I have talked to people in Turtle Cove where I live, and it is spilling over in Turtle Cove, and frankly, I know it's probably spilling over into District 5 as well. I think there's a whole lot that can be done, and part of it is the community working together with Community Watch. Part of it is getting sheriff's patrols through here. Part of it is getting private surveillance, which is, I have spoken to someone in Atlanta, that's what they're doing now. They've got private surveillance. Homeowners associations are putting in cameras. There's a lot we can do. Code enforcement. I'm just as frustrated as Commissioner Patrick on code enforcement. There are horrible things going on with code enforcement. And much of it is frankly rental houses, and much of it owned by people out of the county. And they're hurting this county. There's dumping going on. There's a lack of strict code enforcement. frankly, I think it's not, we don't only need to do this now Alcovy Shores, I think we need to do it in that whole area of the county that's been growing. It's, the whole western part of the county is, we really need to do something. And if it means put staff on next year, we need to put staff on next year.
Mr. Chairman. I did ask for code enforcement to give me some statistics. I haven't gotten any. It was my understanding that it was the consensus of this board, in fact, I think we voted on that code enforcement should be stepped up in that area. I would like to know, before the end of this week, what's been done up there and what tickets have been, or warnings, either one, have been written in that area. Because we don't keep, I haven't gotten one.
Yeah, she was sick today, but she sent it out at 4:30.
Oh, well, I'll read my emails when I get ready to come to the meeting. But anyway, this needs to be done. These people in that area need to know what's going, they need to see something is being done. And that way, when they see something's being done, they're gonna be more determined to keep things rolling up there. And that's what we've got to do. So it's up to us to keep code enforcement up there and doing something.
Just for your information, we went out this week on a joint case with animal control and code enforcement. Essentially, it was barnyard. So you'll be seeing some movement on that shortly.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous?